start with the prayer. Comfortable position, active and erect spine, face relaxed. Steady breathing. Full presence in the session. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sahana Bhavatu. Sahanau Bhunaktu. Sahaviryam Karavavahai. तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Yes, slowly open your eyes. So, today's topic, which is beyond the stretch, building strength through Hatha Yoga. So, if we imagine an ancient temple, which is grand, tall, and it doesn't become grand only because of the carvings or the beauty that is visible. It stands tall, it stands strong, and it looks grand because of its foundation, right? Or a very old tree which has its root which has its roots which are invisible, and we see the branches that are flexible yet strong. Again, the same reasoning. The branches are flexible and strong because of the roots that are keeping the entire tree firm. Same with the temple, same with the tree. So, what we are saying is the heavy stone blocks, which are perfectly placed, they hold the weight, they give the strength to this ancient temple to endure over time. Now, if we think of our body also as that temple, like in yesterday's session, we said body is a temple. Iyengar Guruji used to say that. So if we think of our body as that temple, so if the foundation of this temple is shaky, then no amount of flexibility or flow will keep it steady. In the yoga world, especially in modern times, we hear many times, in fact, all the time, whenever the word yoga or asana comes, we all think about stretching. We all think about flowing. We all think about softening. And yes, that's beautiful. But Hatha Yoga, the real the real deal of Hatha Yoga is about strength. It is the sthairya, stability, shakti, strength, the steady force that holds everything together. That is the crux of the real traditional Hatha Yoga. So tonight's talk is going to be all about that strength. How do we build strength through Hatha Yoga? And how do we think beyond just stretching? So let's not think that strength is a bonus in yoga. It's not. In fact, it is the backbone. Okay, it's not that, okay, basically you gain flexibility and strength is a bonus. No, in fact, strength is the backbone. Strength is the backbone of stability, transformation, enduring, showing up strong every moment. Strength is needed. And Hatha Yoga talks about building this strength. So let's think what strength is. When we hear the word strength, okay, what pops up into our head when we say strength? Let's talk about body, okay? What do we imagine? We picture lifting probably heavy weights in the gym, powerlifting, or even a person running marathon. Strength, muscles, strength, right? That is a part of it, no doubt. But it is not the complete picture. It's not a complete story, not a whole story. We also think of strength when one stands strong and tall when things get tough, isn't it? When it comes to mental strength or, carrying yourself through uh, a very, very rough day and still maintaining the calm and talking to other people with that composure, or keeping the breath steady, mind calm, and body resilient all the time. That's also strength. So in Hatha Yoga, strength is like, or I should say, in Hatha Yoga, we think about strength in four aspects. Okay. The first aspect of strength is structural strength, or we can say postural strength. Like thinking about your body holding a pose, like this pose. We all are holding a pose right now. We are all seated in chair or wherever. Or some people may be driving. Even that's a pose that they are holding. So postural strength is when you hold a pose like a strong and aligned structure. We know alignment also now. Alignment that has reached us through the process of evolution. Okay, I'm talking about that alignment. So that's postural strength. And that comes through a solid structure, solid aligned structure. Structure which our musculoskeletal system defines. Then comes the mental strength, staying focused, clear, calm, confident when needed, empathetic when needed. That's mental strength. Then there is a strength which is defined by the way you breathe and how the energy flows within you and what kind of energy is felt through you by other people. That's also strength, isn't it? That's the vital force. Then the most important, which is the big one, okay? Crucial, functional strength. Now, the functional strength is about your body systems, keeping all the systems in the body strong: digestive system, circulatory system, immune system, endocrine, right? Nervous system, cardiovascular, respiratory, excretory system, reproductive system. All of these systems working together smoothly. So you feel good, not just in yoga class, but in day to day life also. That is also functional strength. And Hatha Yoga deals with or takes care of all these aspects of strength: structural, mental, energetic, and functional strength also. Hatha Yoga has practices to take care of all these aspects of strength. So, strength isn't when it comes to doing, when it comes to practicing or performance. Strength is not about pushing too hard, it's about integrating. It's about integrity. How one is able to integrate so many aspects or parts together. Organization, how one is able to organize everything together in one whole. Because when we function, when we do something, our entire system, including our thoughts, our mind, our body, our breath, intellect, energy, everything needs to integrate together. So we are not trying to conquer something here. We are not trying to conquer. There is no fight here involved. There is no winning or losing involved. We are building a body and mind that can hold space. Now we are talking about the element, the space, which is like the most subtle element. We are trying to build a body and mind that can hold space, that can hold space for effort, for calmness, for life in general. It's about being capable, being steady, and ready for whatever comes. So, a strong body is not the body which will never have any disease. Strength is not about not having any disease. Then, strength is about being able to endure and stand strong even if there is any kind of discomfort or dis-ease. Holding there firmly, dealing with it, and then coming out of it. So I'm saying it's about being capable, steady, and ready for whatever comes. That's strength. Remember our first session, stiffness to steadiness. We defined steadiness, and steadiness comes first, and strength follows. And that is the strength that we are talking about when we are talking about building strength through Hatha Yoga. Okay. Now, when we talk about strength training, what are the different methods of strength building. Okay, about body, physical strength building. There are lots of great ways through which our bodies can become strong, like gym workouts, lifting weights, taking help of different machines to build strength, building muscles. This is gym. Then there are different kinds of sports that one can play. They also build certain kind of strength and stamina, right? And functional movement. There is strength building for a particular sport also. Then another very, very popular way of exercise for strength building is Pilates, which offers a lot of core control, precise muscle work. And then there are so many other things like dance, aerobics, Zumba, and many like calisthenics, functional training, all of these things. So all these are all fantastic and they work, no doubt in that. They use repetition, they use intensity, or they use skill to build strength and power. Okay. What about Hatha Yoga? What is unique about Hatha Yoga? What's different? Here, it is not about how much you can lift or how fast you can move. It is about building strength in a way that is steady, long lasting, and connected, which is very, very important and unique for Hatha Yoga. It is not building strength for a particular task. It is not building strength in a particular area. How? Okay, how does Hatha Yoga do this? So, Hatha Yoga has an incredible way, we can say, of making us strong without even us realizing how powerful we are becoming. So, how it happens? Firstly, there is isometric strength work that happens in Hatha Yoga. Isometric strength work. Some of us are teachers here, they will understand what is isometric, isotonic, isometric. In Hatha Yoga, we hold poses for a while. Sometimes 6 breaths, 8 breaths, 5 breaths, or even more breaths, or 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, depending on what kind of work or what kind of goal or focus of the class is. So here, when you hold, your muscles are working hard. Okay? But they're not moving. Because they don't move, it's not visible work. But that doesn't mean that work is not happening. Muscles do not move, joints are not moving, but they are engaged and they are engaged in steadiness. They are engaged in stillness. And as I said, steadiness is the first step. And that is called isometric strength. When the length of the muscle is not getting affected, it is not changing. So this kind of activity, it builds endurance deep in your muscles, long lasting. For example, say Trikonasana. If we think of only flexibility while practicing Trikonasana, then one just open the arms, reaches and touches the floor. That's not what that's not what Hatha Yoga is expecting. Then what's expected? Remember elemental awareness that we have talked about. Remember the shift from performance to presence that we have been talking about. So when you're holding, say, Trikonasana, what is happening there? Your legs are strong, your core is engaged, your arms are nicely extended, your forearms are engaged. It's not about bouncing or moving. It is all about staying steady. And that is the strength that lasts. Or Navasana, boat pose, where your thighs are burning, your core is working, but you're holding it with a very calm breath. That's strength. That is strength which is rooted in focus. So, this type of strength is not about looking strong, it is about being strong, and being strong in a way that will support you for long duration. Building a practice that stays. We have been talking about sustainable practice from day one, if you remember. Now, unlike gym workouts, which focus on one muscle at a time, like we do biceps. So if we go to gym, then we have a plan, right? We have chest, then back or bicep, triceps, then legs, core, hips and thighs. So this is how we divide. So we focus on one area or one group of muscles at a time. Now, Hatha Yoga gets our whole body working together. It's like a team effort. For example, in Virabhadrasana, Virabhadrasana 1 or 2, say this Virabhadrasana, where your legs are apart, one foot is turned out, the knee is bending, the thigh is parallel to the floor, your arms are open, and you are shifting your gaze to the fingertips or to the index finger. What's happening here? The back leg is grounding, your front thigh is strong, your back calf is engaged, your front calf is also engaged, your arms are nicely extended, your core is holding you upright. Plus, you are gazing steadily ahead. It's a full body strength with awareness. There is no movement involved. I'm not doing this. I can be doing this and I can look here and there. I can listen to music while doing gym work. But hold Vrikshasana, look here and there. Do Virabhadrasana 3 and just shift your gaze up or down. What happens? You cannot hold it. So this involves all of your body systems. So this is full body strength work with awareness. Hatha Yoga also uses counter forces. In standing poses, you're grounding down while lifting up. Both the things are happening at the same time. Right? So if you remember those who are coming for the class, I keep guiding you. Watch two forces acting at the same time in opposite directions. Right? This is the cue that I keep giving. Why? Because that is where we want our awareness to go. What's happening in the body? What forces are involved here? When I'm doing Anjaneyasana, what are the two forces acting here? And that is when um, our connection with the gatis also comes into picture. When we are lifting the chest up, that urdhva gati, the backside, it is going down, the thigh is coming forward and down. So two forces acting at the same time. One going down when the thigh is pushing down while the chest is lifting up. What is all of this happening? There is counter force, the work of counter forces. It is a beautiful balance, and that balance is of effort and ease at the same time. You are putting in efforts, but the effort is directed towards being at ease. Effort is towards being effortless. Then Hatha Yoga, where it shines truly, is you're holding a challenging pose, but still you are breathing slowly, deeply, consciously. Maybe not deeply every time, but conscious breathing. Maybe some poses demand us only to breathe through the thoracic region, not abdomen. Some poses do we focus on abdominal breathing. Some poses we focus on thoracic breathing. But there is a conscious effort to breathe. There is a constant reminder for us to breathe in a systematic way, in a rhythmic way, right? So that's not just building muscle, it is strengthening your nervous system. You are learning to stay calm, regulate efforts, and soften even when things feel intense. And when we practice this on the mat, this will come naturally to us even off the mat. That strength will show up in situations when or where we are expected to stay calm, where we need to stay calm, even when there is chaos around. So, this is about building that structural strength through Hatha Yoga. Then, Hatha Yoga also builds functional strength. There are practices that are focused on building functional strength. So, it's not only about making muscle strong, but strengthening the whole system. Hatha Yoga focuses on that also. Like it does it through Shuddhi Kriyas, internal cleansing. And I'm not talking about very complicated Shuddhi Kriyas because many people just look at the picture and they say, oh no, who is going to do this? Vastra Dhauti, who will do that? Nauli, how can I do that Dakshina Nauli? It's not possible. Madhya Nauli, not possible. I'm not talking about those complicated Shuddhi Kriyas, but Tratak is such a simple yet very powerful practice. Kapalabhati, Shuddhi Kriya. Jalaneti, Shuddhi Kriya. Not a complicated practice. But these practices, they are about toning. They are about activating your body from the inside out. Jalaneti clears your nasal passages. It strengthens your respiratory immunity. Tratak, staring at a candle flame, it strengthens your eye muscles. It sharpens your focus. Kapalbhati, Agnisar, all of these kriyas make our internal systems stronger. So we are not just fit on the outside, but we are also thriving on the inside. Then there are postures, there are asanas which strengthen the body, and even beyond that, not just the body, but beyond that, not just structural strength, but functional strength. Every asana in Hatha Yoga does more than what we see it doing. We may see Trikonasana as a side bending practice. We may see Ardhamatsendrasana as a twisting pose. We may see Sarvangasana as an inversion. We may see Setu Bandhasana as a back bend. So this is what we see. What we see works on the muscles, surely. But what we don't see is they also support the organs and they balance the energy. Ardha Matsyendrasana. It squeezes your digestive organs, it supports your liver, it keeps your spine mobile. Great practice. All the twisting postures are great when it comes to digestion. Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. It on musculoskeletal level, it tones your glutes, it strengthens your lower back. At a deeper level, functional level, it stimulates your thyroid. Sarvangasana boosts hormonal balance. And muscular level, it strengthens your shoulder, your back. It directs the saturated blood flow from the legs to the heart, so that when we stand upright, fresh blood reaches the legs. Sarvangasana also calms your nervous system. So this is what? This is strength. What are we doing? We are building functional strength through Hatha Yoga. In Tadasana, there is strength in stillness, firm feet, engaged thighs, lifted spine. All of this is what? Strength in stillness. Then there are many types of poses that integrate, as I said, the entire system. And as a result of that, we also see that the poses balance three doshas also. Vata, Pitta, Kapha. For example, forward bends. Forward bends are cool, calm. So great for Pitta. But that doesn't mean anyone can do any forward bend without guidance. No. The premise is that this has to be done under the guidance of a qualified teacher. Otherwise, anyone having hyperacidity will just start doing forward bending. It's not like that. But the characteristic, the nature of forward bending is they're cool, they're calming. So great for Pitta. Twists, as I was saying, they fire up digestion. Now, if they fire up digestion, then they will be perfect for Kapha, which slows down digestion, which is heavy, because of which the metabolism is slow. Then standing poses, they build stamina. They keep you grounded. So they are going to balance Vata, excessive movement in the head. Standing poses will balance Vata. So what we are saying is, if we only consider the practice of asana only, even then we are getting the benefit of building structural strength functional strength with awareness and focus, so mental strength also with breath work. So if we only keep focusing on the practice of asana only, even then we get benefits. But this really has to be consistent and daily. Then there is a very important limb of yoga pranayama, which is the strength of breath. We all know breath is a superpower. It builds resilience in your lungs, mind, and energy. I don't have to talk about many pranayams here because that's not our topic for today. But Basrika, then Surya Bhedan are all energetic pranayams. Ujjayi, calming yet heating, energetic, both. And that's why I'm saying two opposing forces, counter forces, all practices of yoga is this display of counter forces, effort and ease, upward, downward, balance. Same with pranayam also. So Bhasrika builds heat, it wakes up your metabolism, it strengthens the core at muscular level. Then breath retention, Kumbhak, again boosts lung capacity, trains your mind to stay still. All these practices I'm telling, but again I'm saying, repeating, these have to be practiced under guidance. We shouldn't try and hold the breath suddenly. Surya Bhedan, right nostril breathing. Again, it fires up circulation. It clears mental fog, brain fog. Nadi Shodhan, Anulom Vilom. It balances the nervous system and keeps Vata Pitta in harmony. Nadi Shodhan. So, Hatha Yoga says that practices like these purify the energy channels, making us vibrant and strong from inside out. Then there is a great practice in Hatha Yoga, which is the practice of bandhas, the locks, energy locks, Moola Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, which engages Moola Bandha, that engages the pelvic floor, grounding you, building core stability. Uddiyana Bandha also strengthens the core, massaging digestive organs. So many of the yoga practices, most of the yoga practices, they do focus on digestive system because it's the most crucial of all the systems. If it is in place, if it is working properly, then the health is in check. You've heard of the gut-brain connection, right? Our gut is our second brain, they say. Gut is the second brain. So that is why when the digestive system is working properly, then in general, the health is fine. So these locks amplify your strength. They focus your energy. And again, they make every pose more powerful. So we are saying in Hatha Yoga, we are not just building visible muscles, but we are strengthening the invisible also, which is your organs, energy, resilience. Now that we are talking about strength, there are certain common questions that are always asked. And one of those common questions is, especially from women in their 40s, 50s, and beyond. And then they ask, do I need to lift weights for strength, especially during menopause? Why I'm talking about this is because I get this question very often. So I would say yes, resistance training is super important, especially for bone health in that age. Bone health and muscle strength as we age. But Hatha Yoga is also a form of resistance training. Holding poses like Vrukshasana, Utkatasana, Trikonasana, it engages your deep muscle fibers in a gentle and joint friendly way. And if you work with a good yoga teacher, he or she will be able to provide you so many methods and ways of engaging those deep muscles in a joint friendly way. Plus, in addition to that, yoga also balances your hormones, it calms your nervous system, which is a great benefit during this period of menopause. So, is yoga enough? Do we not need to do any other training? That's another question, isn't it? So, I would say for many of you, yes, especially if the practice is consistent and intentional. But having said that, if one loves variety, nothing wrong in adding any kind of other strength activity, swimming, walking in the water, healing, as well as strength building. Okay. So nothing wrong in adding that. Just make sure it is guided and make sure it complements your yoga practice. So adding TheraBand training, resistance training is a great method of complementing the yoga practice. Okay. For example, here in my class, I always add, it also depends on the season, of course. So we have practices that are working, that are in line with the season. So we do add TheraBand training, resistance training, so that it complements. It's not that, oh, if it is yoga practice, we should not be doing any other training. Not like that. And here is something that I will surely tell yoga teachers also. We also need to keep training ourselves. We also need to expand our knowledge even beyond yoga. What other um, forms of training can we learn, and can we introduce them to our teaching so that it complements the yoga practice itself? It's very important these days because people have so many different kinds of lifestyles, so many different professions, so many movement patterns being created. And each movement pattern may need a different kind of approach towards teaching. So even if you are teaching the same traditional poses, if you introduce variety of methods of approaching the same traditional pose, it's going to be of great help, not only for you as a teacher, but for your practitioners also. Okay. So what is a takeaway? What are we saying here? The basic thing is, let's not think of Hatha Yoga as just stretching, which is done after some intense exercise or workout. No, this in itself is a great, strong workout only. I know there is a popular saying yoga is not workout, it is a work in. That's at a different level. But if we compare workout to workout, then even this is a great workout in itself. It is a strength practice in disguise, and it is very, very powerful. So, those who are practicing, those who are teaching, I'm sure there are so many experienced teachers also here, and they will agree with me how yoga builds strength, how hatha yogic postures and asanas build strength. So, me personally, if I have to talk about my own experience, I have been doing all forms of physical exercises for so many years. I did a lot of gymming. I did a lot of training for endurance sports like long distance running, mountaineering, and I tried all types of and all forms of exercises. For me, it was a challenge to build strength to be able to do a free push up. I'm sure for so many girls, it could be a challenge. It's a challenge. But let me tell you, I could do push ups only after started taking my yoga practice seriously. Okay. So, because of that practice, I would say my range increased, my wrist got the strength, my fingers also uh, became mobile, and that is when I started getting towards push up, and now I can confidently say that yes, I can do push ups. I could build the strength even for pull ups when I started taking my yoga practice serious. Pulling action is something that's missing though in yoga poses, okay? But still, when we regularly practice poses to strengthen the back, the pull ups come. Okay, why I'm giving these examples? Because these are peculiar activities that are, specific uh, to strength training in gym or in calisthenics or in functional training. That is why I'm giving examples. And I'm not against any of these. If you are doing this under guidance, please go ahead because they are, you will enjoy them. If you enjoy doing anything with your body, you will surely enjoy them. Not a problem doing that. However, when it comes to building a sustainable practice, I can say there is nothing like yoga practice on the mat. You can sustain it throughout the life. If done under guidance, very less chances of injury. If done with breath awareness, no chances of injury. So, this is the takeaway. Hatha Yoga is a great strength building practice. And it not only builds strength at musculoskeletal level, but the unique part of Hatha Yogic strength building is its innate ability to build functional strength also. So if we if we remember that ancient temple that I started my talking about in the beginning, Hatha Yoga doesn't um so that the foundational stones of that temple, the strength that those foundational stones hold is the kind of strength that Hatha Yoga will build within us. Very, very deep ability to endure all seasons and still standing strong for a long period of time. Because strength isn't only about muscles, it is presence, it is function, it is balance, It is what holds us together. Not just when you're stretching in a pose, but when life also stretches you to your edges and we still hold. That is strength. So, think I will stop here. Any questions we can take after the prayer. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ थैंक यू